To Scott's Weekend Sports today, ladies and gentlemen, but it's back after being out last week. It is time to do more of our college football and NFL predictions. Let's get into those right now. First game out tomorrow night, Friday night, South Florida and North Texas. I'm going to go with South Florida to get the win here. I think South Florida's been more tested so far, so I'm going to go with USF to get the win over North Texas on the road.
I think North Texas feels like they've been overlooked. No one's talking about them. They're in the middle of nowhere. I think North Texas gets a win here and upsets South Florida.
Next up, Florida at Texas A&M Saturday night. I will go with A&M at home. I think A&M's looked very good so far this season. I'll go with A&M at home over Florida.
I just don't think Florida can string two wins together. Beat Texas at home. There'll be a letdown. They're going to lose on the road to the Aggies.
Next up, Ohio State on the road at Illinois. I'm going to go with Ohio State. Ohio State's looked good so far this season. I'll go with Ohio State on the road over Illinois.
Beginning of the season, I might have picked Illinois in this game, but then I saw how they did against Indiana. I think they're a good team, but they're not at the level of Ohio State. I agree with the Buckeyes.
Next up, Alabama at Missouri. Another tough test for Alabama coming off a nice win last week against Vanderbilt. I'll go with Alabama to continue their upward trajectory and get a win on the road over Missouri.
I'm going the other way. I think Missouri this is their game, right? This is their big game. This is the way they can get on the map. They're undefeated. No one's really talking about them. I think Missouri gets a very close upset in this game.
Next up, Pitt on the road at Florida State. I think Florida State gets their first win in conference here. I'll go with Florida State to get the win over Pitt at home.
I agree. I think Florida State's still a good team. They just happened to play Miami, who's a very good team last week. I think they'll beat Pitt at home.
Next up, Washington State on the road at Ole Miss. I will take Ole Miss. Ole Miss has looked very good this year. I'll go with Ole Miss to get it done at home over Wazoo.
Yeah, this is going to be a blowout win. Give me Ole Miss.
Next up, Indiana at Oregon. Should be a good game here. I'll go with the Ducks. I think Oregon has looked good so far this season. So I'll go with Oregon at home over Indiana.
Indiana surprised me. They're a better team than I thought they were going to be. But on the road at Oregon, that's a tall task. I also like the Ducks.
Next up, Virginia Tech at Georgia Tech. I'm going to go with Georgia Tech to get the win here. I think Haynes Cake's been probably one of the most fun quarterbacks to watch in college football so far this season. I'll go with Georgia Tech at home over Virginia Tech.
Georgia Tech, after they struggled against Wake Forest, their bye week came at the right time. I think they get right this week, and they beat the Hokies.
Next up, NC State on the road at Notre Dame. I will go with the Irish. I think Notre Dame's looked good so far this season. After starting 0-2, I'll go with Notre Dame at home over NC State.
I think Notre Dame's playing with a chip on their shoulder after their first two losses. I think they win out through the rest of the season, including this game.
Next up, Iowa State on the road at Colorado. I will go with Iowa State to get the win here. I think Rocco Beck's been one of the best quarterbacks in the Big 12 so far. So I'll go with Iowa State to get the win over Colorado.
Iowa State, I believe, is still pretty banged up on defense. But I think overall they're just a better team than Colorado. I like the Cyclones here.
Next up, Arkansas at Tennessee. I'm going to go with Tennessee to get the win here. I think the Vols have looked good for Josh Heupel so far this year. I'll go with Tennessee at home over Arkansas.
I'll say Tennessee's been pretty darn consistent under Heupel. I think they'll continue to win here. I like Tennessee.
Next up, Kansas coming off a very lucky win last week that we just gifted them as they head into Lubbock this week to take on Texas Tech. I'm going to go with Texas Tech to get the win here at home. I think Texas Tech's going to continue to just use the NIL money whenever they need it. I'll take Texas Tech at home over Kansas.
I agree. I think Texas Tech is the class of the Big 12, and if they're going to win this game, they're going to win the Big 12 and get into the playoffs.
Next up, Georgia on the road at Auburn. I'm going to go with Carson Beck and Georgia to get the win here on the road. I think Georgia's going to look better this week. I'll go with Georgia to get the win over Auburn.
I agree. I do think Auburn's going to give them a good game. I think it's going to be very close. I think it'll be like a field goal kind of game, but I like Georgia to get the win over the road.
Next up, Michigan at USC. I'm going to go with Michigan to get the win here at home. I think on the road, I think Michigan's got one of the best freshman quarterbacks in the country. So I'll go with Michigan to pull off the upset over USC.
I'm just not convinced USC is very good. I don't think they've played anyone tough. So I like Michigan to win this one.
Next up, South Carolina heading into Tiger Stadium and Baton Rouge to take on LSU. I'm going to go with LSU to get the win here. I think Gary Nussmeier is going to play well enough this week to get the win. I'll go with LSU at home over South Carolina.
South Carolina's been a very disappointing team this year relative to the expectations. I think they'll continue that trend this week. I like LSU in this one.
Next up, BYU on the road at Arizona. I'll go with BYU on the road. I think the Cougs have looked good so far this year. I'll go with BYU on the road over Arizona.
I'm not convinced that BYU is that good, but I don't think Arizona is very good either. So I like BYU in this one.
Next up, Arizona State on the road at Utah. A very tough place to play. I will go with Arizona State to pull off the upset here. I think I'm going to go with the Sun Devils to pull off the upset and probably prove that they are probably the third best team in the Big 12 this year. I'll go with Arizona State on the road over Utah.
I'm going the other way. I think, as Scott said, Utah is a tough place to play. I think that will show this weekend. I like the Utes.
Next up, UCF on the road at Cincinnati. Cincinnati 10.5 point favorites. I will take Cincinnati to win and cover. I think our offense can't do anything. Our defense can't stop anything. Cincinnati gets the win at home over UCF.
I agree with Scott. I think, unfortunately, Cincinnati is a much better team than we are at this stage. And I think they'll have a little bit of a letdown after beating Iowa State, but I think Cincinnati wins and they probably cover.
I don't see Kentucky on here, so they must have a bye week. So we'll get into the NFL predictions for the weekend. If I did forget something, Terry Jewell will probably let me know about it tomorrow morning if I didn't pick Kentucky. So we'll see. We'll see if he texts me tomorrow morning. First game out tomorrow night, Amazon Prime Video tonight. Eagles, Giants. I'm going to go with the Eagles to bounce back. They had a very tough game last week against Denver, and they bounced back on the road on a Thursday night against the Giants.
One of the best recipes for a slump is playing the Giants or the Jets. And fortunately for the Eagles, they've got the Giants. Give me the Eagles.
Next up, back in London for the second week in a row, as it'll be Bo Nix in the Denver Broncos going into Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to take on the winless New York Jets, the last winless team in the NFL. Can I just say that I believe in Bo Nix? I'm going to take the Broncos to get the win in London against the Jets.
The Jets will remain winless. I think the Broncos are too good. Broncos get the win.
Next up, the Colts on the road at home, hosting the Arizona Cardinals. I think Indiana Jones will continue to get the win here. I'm going to go with Indianapolis to get the win at home over the Cardinals.
Colts are definitely, to me, the surprise team in the NFL this year. I don't think anyone saw them. What are they, 5-1? Whatever they are. I think they're going to win, and Daniel Jones continue to play well. I like the Colts.
Next up, the Chargers going into Miami to take on the very bad Dolphins team, who I picked last week to win, but they lost to the Panthers last week. I'll go with Justin Herbert and the very banged-up Chargers to get the win on the road over the Dolphins.
Only thing that gives the Dolphins a chance is the fact that the Chargers are so banged up, but I still think the Chargers get the win in this one.
Next up, Drake May and the New England Patriots coming off a massive win on Sunday night against Buffalo as they head into New Orleans to take on the Saints, who got their first win of the season last week. I'm going to go with the Patriots to get the win on the road over the Saints.
I think they're going to win as well, but I think it'll be an ugly game. I think they're going to be on a high from last week. They're going to come down a little bit. Saints are feeling good about their first win. So I think it'll actually be a closer game than people think, but I do like the Patriots.
Next up, Dylan Gabriel, who coming off a good performance last week in a loss, go into Pittsburgh to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to go with the Steelers at home. I think another tough week for Dylan Gabriel. I'm going to go with the Steelers at home over the Browns.
I agree. I was happy to see Dylan Gabriel get a chance, but I think the Steelers are just too good. I like the Steelers.
Next up, the Dallas Cowboys heading in to Charlotte to take on the Carolina Panthers. Seen a lot of people on ESPN saying that Dak Prescott's the current leader in the MVP race. I'm going to go with Dallas on the road over the Panthers.
I think Prescott will have a big game, but I'm going to pick the Panthers in an upset here. I like the Panthers at home.
Next up, the Seahawks heading into Jacksonville to take on the Jags. It's a West Coast team going to the East Coast. That's usually not a good sign. So I'm going to go with Liam Cohen and the Jacksonville Jaguars to get the win here at home over the Seahawks.
I'm going to go the other way. I think the Jags are going to be so let down after the big win against Kansas City that they let down enough. Seahawks are good enough to take advantage of that. I like the Seahawks in this one.
Next up, the Rams heading into Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Still no Lamar Jackson this week. I'll go with Matt Stafford and the Rams to get the win on the road over the Ravens.
I agree. I think the Rams are one of the better teams in the NFL. The Ravens are terrible defensively, and no Lamar Jackson. I like the Rams.
Next up, the Las Vegas Raiders hosting the Tennessee Titans. A battle of two one-win teams. Just because they're at home, I'm going to go with Geno Smith, Pete Carroll, and the Las Vegas Raiders to get the win here at home. I would not be shocked to see Cam Ward and the Titans get the win here, but I'm going to go with the Raiders at home over the Titans.
I mean, the Raiders were embarrassed last week. The Titans got a pretty lucky win. I think the Raiders bounce back and get a win at home.
Next up, the Green Bay Packers hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to go with the Packers at home. I think this is my eliminator pick of the week. I'm going to go with Jordan Love and the Packers to get the win over the Bengals.
You got Joe Flacco changing teams. How quick can he pick up the offense? He's 40 years of age. I like the Packers as well.
Next up, in my opinion, the game of the week this week. This game should be Sunday Night Football, in my opinion. It'll be Mac Jones and the San Francisco 49ers heading into Tampa to take on Red Hot Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to go with the Bucs to find a way to get a win here at home. They do not want to lose this game. I will go with Tampa Bay to get the win here at home over the Niners.
I think this should be a great game. The Bucs offense is really, really clicking. 49ers do have a very good defense, but I like the Bucs to find a way to get a win. It'll probably again be a last drive type game,
Yep.
But I like the Bucs in this one.
Now into the game that they did pick for Sunday Night Football this week. Not a bad game, as it'll be Jared Goff and the Lions heading in to Arrowhead to take on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. For some reason, the Chiefs are favored here. I'm going to go with Jared Goff and the Lions to pull off the road upset and get the win over the Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs need this win more than the Lions. I think they'll find a way to win the game. It'll be a close one, but I like the Chiefs in this one.
Next up, the Buffalo Bills heading in to Atlanta, the first of two Monday night doubleheaders this week, as it'll be the Bills taking on the Falcons in Atlanta. I'm going to go with a very upset Josh Allen after how he performed on Sunday night. I think he bounces back this week. I'll go with the Bills on the road over the Falcons.
Worst thing that could have happened to the Falcons is the Bills losing to the Patriots. I think the Bills will come in with something to prove. I like the Bills to win big.
Next up, in a rematch of the Instant Classic that we saw last season, as it'll be Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears heading into Washington to take on Jane Daniels in the Washington Commanders. Jane Daniels looked very good in his return last week. I'm going to go with Jane Daniels and the Washington Commanders to get the win here at home over the Bears.
I agree, man. Daniels just finds ways to win, whether it be with his legs or his arm. The Commanders are just a different-looking team with him at quarterback. I like the Commanders.
And that will do it for this episode of Scott's Winning Sports today, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back next week with some more NFL and college football predictions. And I will see you guys right back here next week on Scott's Winning Sports. See you later, guys.
See you guys.